The poem To the Nile by John Keats is an addressing to one of the greatest and longest rivers in the world, that is, the Nile. Due to its geographical and mythical allusions, some may find it hard to grasp the complete sense of the poem. Therefore, the main focus in the video is to give you a comprehensive idea of it. First of all, let's look at the poem. In this video, we are going to elaborate some important facts about the Nile and the Moon Mountain, and the importance of the Nile to the pyramids, and about the crocodiles in the river. Finally, about the myths and gods associated with the river Nile. The Nile is the longest river in the world. It flows across the African continent, more than 4,000 miles. Its basin is so huge, and it includes the parts of Tanzania, Burundi, Rwanda, Congo, and Kenya. As the poem says, it starts at Deccan and ends in Cairo and flows into the Mediterranean Sea. The name of the Nile came from the Greek word Nilos, which means valley. The ancient Egyptians call it by the name Black because of the rich soil settled after its annual flood, which is the root of the Egyptian civilization, which is considered as one of the oldest civilizations in the world. River Nile was life in ancient Egypt and to the other countries and tribes, as it provided the basic needs and protection to the people. When Nile was flooded, the river banks and adjoining lands covered with fertile substances carried by river water and made the valley a suitable ground for cultivation. People grew wheat and barley, which grew well on the fertile land. The Nile provided all they need, like food, protection, and recreation. They traded through the Nile and shared their agricultural and industrial products. This made the Egyptian civilization rich in every way among the other African countries. Therefore, they had every reason to honor and worship the river Nile. However, the myths associated with it further evoke more honor and reverence to it. In the octave, we can see the word fruitful referring to the Nile's ability to make the land fruitful, providing the people the fundamental needs for living. However, the desert Sahara, which covers a vast area of the top of African continent, creates doubt in the mind of the speaker, just like asking, if you are so fruitful, why there is a desert around you? The other geographical allusion we find in the poem is Moon Mountain. The poet personifies the river as the son of moon mountains. What really the Moon Mountain is? Mountain Moon is an ancient term referring to a legendary mountain or mountain range in East Africa, which is the source of the Nile River. Though various identifications have been made, the Rwenzori Mountains of Uganda is considered as the Moon Mountain. The river Nile originates from Lake Albert, which is at the base of the mountain. As the Rwenzori Mountain gives birth to the river, it is a true personification as the son of all Moon Mountain. Next historical implication in the poem is the relationship between the Nile and the pyramids. Archaeologists believe that the huge sandstone bricks were transported from a distant quarry through the Nile to build pyramids. As it helped to build these gigantic monuments, it has been called as the chief of the pyramid. Have you noticed that the Nile is being addressed as it is a person, more like a god, which has a noble birth near heaven and has power to build up creations which still marvels the world. Further, it is called the chief of the crocodiles. If you search through the internet, you can find that the Nile is abundant of the world's largest crocodiles and hippopotami. Then who is the owner of these dangerous animals? These crocodiles have a mythical relationship with the god Osiris, which we will explain in the latter part of the video. You'll be agree with me about the fact that fear of power is too associated with reverence. Because of these crocodiles, the Nile too has become a place with some danger. In some part of Africa, these crocodiles too are considered as gods. The Nile is steeped in mythology with several gods, including gods of Egypt. Due to the myth associated with the Nile, it has been considered as a place with a divine touch. Hence, revered with awe and honored by the natives lived by and around the river. The first god we are focusing on is Hapi. Hapi is the god worshipped by many who is directly associated with the river. Hapi is the Egyptian god in charge of the Nile's annual flooding. Hapi is the most respected and vital god because the flooding was necessary as it makes the land moist and fertile, which was beneficial for the farmers who lived by the Nile. Next couple of Egyptian gods may be familiar and most famous in Egyptian mythology. They are Osiris, Set, Isis and Nephthys. Osiris was the ruler of the fertile lands of the Egypt and much loved by the humans, whereas Set was banished to the desert to rule it. Due to the feeling of deprived and hatred, Set killed his brother Osiris. And he slayed the body into several parts and scattered through every part of the Egypt, including the river. Isis, the wife of Osiris, with Nephthys, who is her sister, went to find the body parts. However, they could not find the genital of him as it was eaten by fish or crocodile in the river. So some critics say the term fertility is attributed to the river because of this. And these crocodiles and those fishes were forbidden to eat because of that. Having failed to give life to Osiris, Isis had built temples along the river for the slain body parts. This comes to my mind. Does that mean the people are yet forced to worship the god even after his death? What do you think? You may have well heard about Pharaoh. Pharaoh was closely connected to the activities of the Nile and he was considered as a god in human form. Once there was a drought, a god came into his dream and asked him to build temples in order to finish the famine and drought. These ideas support to get the sense of the octave, where Keats' question reveals fertility and power around it. But questions whether the myths associated around the river actually have any truth, or are they fabricated stories to gain honor, contrasting the infertility associated with fertility, as the Nile flows through a vast desert. If you are interested about the legend, you can watch the movies like God of Egypt. It is quite a mystery bag for every historian who look for the history of the Egypt and about the Egyptian gods. So, hope this video would help you to decipher the mysteries inside the poem to the Nile. You can watch the analysis of the Nile using the links below. Okay, that's it. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon not to miss the next video upload. Okay, bye for today.